What is up, everybody? In this video, we're going to talk about some very interesting stuff. In fact, I'm not even going to be talking to you guys. I'm talking to a private group of traders. So that's what this video is. You're not going to hear their voices when they ask me questions, and I cut out the sections where they ask me questions. And what I do is I repeat the questions so you guys can understand what their questions were. So basically, this is a Q&A, sort of. However, the subject was psychology, and in this video, we go down the rabbit hole of how to change bad trading habits and how to cultivate good trading habits, because as most of you know, we all suffer from the same problems, whether it's FOMO, over trading, stuff. Those are the big ones in my opinion. So simple discipline and just attempting to stop, it's not good enough. You have to take active steps, and you have to be very specific about what you do, and that's what a lot of this video is. And then we go down the rabbit hole of self-hypnosis, which is something I really enjoy, and I use it all the time on myself to shift my reality so that way I can become the person I want to become. I figured this would be something good for you guys because I have these crazy conversations all the time. And why not share them to YouTube? Without further ado, here it is. It's going to be a different sound quality because I'm not using the typical mics. I'm using the headphone mic, so just understand that.
Yes. So the question is, did I have issues with overtrading when I first started? Absolutely. For several years in a row, my yearly goal was to fix that. So do you have a follow-up to that? So the question is, and it's about overtrading, but not specifically overtrading. It is sometimes I see my setup, but then I'm overfighting getting into it, and then before I know it, I overtraded. And you realize after the fact you overtraded a setup that is no longer a setup because you overfought it and it's just not working. So the question is, how do I get over that? Correct? It happens to me sometimes, but not as much. At some point, uh, it happens to you so many times that, I mean, it's happened to me. God, it feels like 1,000 fucking times over. At some point, it happens so much that you realize what's happening. Hopefully. Hopefully you realize what's happening. You start to catch on to it sooner and sooner. Like, hey, I'm fucking overfighting. It actually happened in my recent video, the A plus video. I had one trade. It started chopping, and I told myself this is getting dangerous. I need to just wait. And if it goes without me, fuck it. But this is starting to get real dangerous. I know I'm gonna fucking get chopped up. Um, I know it can start to go against me now because it's rotating way too much that there's probably stop runs on both sides. Obviously, I want the one side to work, but I need to have them just clear the inventory by jamming it up because it was a short. And I'm just going to get the fuck out of the way. I'm going to be content with missing it. So I think it's a combination of just being content with missing setups if they're not behaving, at least for me, because my trades are probably tighter than most of y'all's. Um, so I need the trade to behave relatively soon and quickly, unless the expected value is really ridiculously overly high, and it's like, okay, I can just sit here and take pain, but that's not that common. So just being content with missing a setup that's not quite setting up the way I need it to. Just being okay with missing it. Because if you're not, that leads to FOMO, then that leads to overfighting. And then before you know it, I did some drills last week and I was doing really good on these tape drills, and then all of a sudden the market went completely sideways and I fucked myself in this chop. Granted, it was just a drill, but and it wasn't like a legit setup, but at some point, I mean, just awareness, and it all goes back to meditation, which is the most important thing a trader can do, because the mind is a butterfly that is constantly floating around. All of you, chances are, have a hard time paying attention in the moment. You're constantly thinking about the future or the past, your future tripping, or you're thinking about the past. That you need to be in the moment, and meditation helps you keep bringing the mind back. Huberman has a great episode on meditation, that actually, if you have ADD like I do, which I think is kind of bullshit, but anyways, that's neither here or there. If you meditate a lot, it is proven that that can permanently fix attention issues. Like, I want to trade this white box and it looks like it might hit the other side, but it's not ready. So I'm not going to chase it until it's good. If it goes without me, fuck it. But it's not good enough. It's not high probability enough. It's not A plus enough. But anyways, focusing on the mind, like on your breath. That's why people always say focus on the breath. That's you start to when you meditate, you start to go, my mind is wandering. So let's bring it back. Oh, my mind is wandering. Let's bring it back. And then as you keep doing it, you start to get better and better. You can hold it, the breath, the focus on the breath longer. Maybe you can do 30 seconds before it wanders. Then maybe you can do a minute before it wanders. And the same thing is happening in your trading. Is you have to be aware that I'm over trading, because the if you're not and you're on autopilot, you're never going to fix that problem until the unconscious becomes conscious. You're going to keep doing the same problem over and over. So if I'm we need to be aware of the over trading. So I guess would the follow-up question be, how do I fix it? Okay, that's different. So there was a follow-up comment where the trader who asked the original question was held accountable to only take 5 trades a day, and he's come to the point where he's content with missing trades, which is good. Then another question from somebody else is, some people know they're over trading, but they're mad and they continue to click the button. Is that because that's a different. We have to be very specific about what kind of over trading is going on, because over trading is not a one size fits all fucking suit. It's a, what specifically are you doing? Are you over trading when you're pissed? Are you unaware that you're over trading? Or like the original question, I'm only over trading on a setup that's just not working and then I don't realize what's happening. So what is it specifically? Is it, if it's the anger, well, by the time you're fucking mad, it's probably a little too late. So I would just say, hey, get up and walk away. But I 90%, 95, 98% of the time, that's not going to happen. You're just going to sit there. So you have to be, I mean, it takes a lot of practice to get to the point where you can just get the fuck up and leave. So when that happens, that's why the review process is so important. When that happens and you're reviewing that, and hopefully you're recording you actually trading, you want to watch you trade, and then you want to relive that moment of being pissed. You want to feel that emotion of being pissed and seeing what you're doing, and just understand the emotions. And if you record your voice, that can help, because then you can hear it in the voice as well as you talk to yourself through your trading. So when you record that specific situation, because these are all poker hands, and you can get a combination of hands that you've not dealt with. And until you have that hand and had either failed at it or struggled through it, then you won't know how to attack that hand psychologically. So, because every trade is slightly different. So if you're put into a position where you're pissed, what you need to do is review it, and then you need to just relive that trade, like get into a place of calm, however you can get calm, whether it's through meditation or music or something. You need to get to a point where you are absolutely in a serene, calm state of being. And then you need to rewatch that trade, whether it's mentally or on the recording, and just watch it from a place of being calm. And you need to do it several times over, because whatever the little situations were that pissed you off, the market's jerking around in an erratic way, or something's happening in the price action that's pissing you off. There is something happening in the price action that is pissing you off. Whatever it is, it's not working as soon as you thought, or you're getting in too early. Whatever the fuck's happening, you need that's what's pissing you off. It's the way it's moving. So when you relive it from a place of calm and you do it multiple times over, you're conditioning the unconscious mind that when it sees that price action again, it's associating it with a state of being calm instead of being pissed. Because again, if the unconscious is not conscious, you don't think about it, you don't become aware of it, then you're never going to fix the problem. So you're on autopilot, and anytime the price action does that, you're going to constantly be pissed, because our our unconscious mind is a program, and it is your job to rewrite it. You have to recode the unconscious mind, and it takes repetition to do that. Because who knows why you're getting pissed? There could be childhood trauma associated with that, or something that happened. You could have decades, if you're an older guy, you can have decades of something. It could even be associated with traffic. Maybe, I mean, I recommend that to traders. Is like, if traffic pisses you off, it is exactly the same thing as the fucking market. Like, you're not in control. So if somebody's going slow in this lane, in the left lane, and you think they need to get over, or somebody cuts you off or whatever, you are not in control. You're not in control of this. You're not in control of the traffic. And if there's a fucking accident and the whole thing just slows down, same thing when the volatility just dries the fuck up in the market, right? Just instant dry up of volatility, there's nothing you can do. And if you're constantly somebody getting worked up in traffic, then you're probably going to get worked up in your trading. So that's a great way to leverage just being okay with it, and it can flow into your trading. Damn near everybody gets pissed off about traffic, and it's what it is. Like, I went into the city yesterday and there was an accident going in. I did my thing for several hours, and then there was another accident coming out. Just dead standstill both fucking ways. I'm like, what are the fucking odds of that? Oh well. Just listen to an audio book or some shit. But anyways, you have to rewrite the mind. So you want to relive these specific situations. You have to relive these specific hands. What if you have a weird poker hand and then your opponents keep betting or what have you? and you're not sure what to fucking do because you've never had this hand before. That's what's happening in your trading. So there might be these weird nuance and patterns that piss you off, but if you can relive the situation over and over and over from a state of calm, those nuances in the price action are being associated with being calm in the unconscious mind. So the chances are, if that happens again, you're just going to be okay with it. Now, there's other things you can do, and just talk yourself through the trade in a calm, slow manner and a deep voice. And as I see this setup here, for instance, this setup, right? Maybe I'm not going to miss it. Maybe it's actually going to work out. It didn't go all the way across. That's good. But let's say it shot up and I'm like, well, there's a couple of ticks left to target. It's going to target. Let's say I got long here and then it blew me out because it went backwards. Well, what I could do is I know I experience FOMO because I've done that before where I'm like, well, there's a little left, so we can go ahead and just buy it. So let's say I bought it here and I got blown out. That's fear of missing out. And maybe I got pissed and I started over trading, trying along it, and now it's just absolutely killing me. All right. So what I would do is let's pretend we're reviewing it, and let's pretend that it has pulled back like that. And I'm doing the right thing right now, but what I could do on a recording is talk about this walk myself through the specifics of this in a deep voice because you want to put yourself in a trance-like state. I think I think the real key, the real magic is brainwashing yourself through self-hypnosis. And being in a hypnotic state is being in a deep trance-like state, which is just you being extremely calm, very relaxed. If you can get into an extraordinarily relaxed, calm state, then you're going to have an easier time to reprogram the subconscious mind. It's like you guys ever hear Morgan Freeman narrate something, and in that or David Attenborough, and it's just the most calm fucking thing ever. And if you just watch something where one of those two guys is just narrating, you're most likely in a trance-like state because their deep rumbly voice, and you're just like couch locked staring at whatever it is, some nature shit, just completely calm. That's where you want to get in your trading to reprogram the unconscious mind. So if visualizing it's not working, if you can't get in a calm state of being, you can take it a step further. And I think a lot of good athletes have a lot of, like, if you read Bounce by Matthew Sid, which is one of my favorite books, it's how top athletes become top athletes. Um, they do a lot of weird things that make no fucking sense to normal people. Like the guy that wrote the book was a table tennis player, and he hired a coach who had to put a cigarette on the fucking table, and his job was to fucking hit the ball into the cigarette. And it made no sense to him at the time, but it helped build his accuracy, his precision, to put the ball exactly where it needs to go. So when I suggest something like this, it may not make any fucking sense. But most traders fail because most traders do the same shit, and they're not thinking outside of the box to fix the problem. So let's say you can't get calm and relive the situation. Maybe you want to take it a step further. Maybe you want to supercharge it. So let's say we overtraded this situation. This setup's still not ready. So let's say we bought up here and then we started overtrading and we fucked ourselves for the day. So what I would do is be as specific as possible. And I would talk in a deep, slow voice. And there's a few keywords I can use. Let me pull them up. There's hypnotic phrases that I can use. Let me see if I got them right here. These are like Trojan phrases. If you were to, what if, have you ever, I don't know if you can, it doesn't matter whether. Or using words like imagine, picture this, visualize this. Something really pissed me off in my trading, and this trading up here, I need this specific situation, this moment in time is what I need to work on for the next day. And chances are, if I just listen to an audio track of me talking through this as I go to sleep, I won't have that issue the next day. So let's pretend the price action is going up. So I would first put myself in a calm state of being. So the audio might go like this. I want you to listen to the sound of my voice. Imagine a deep, heavy chest, a brown chest clad in iron with a heavy lid, a chest that looks like it's from the pirate days. Now, if you were to open the chest, I would like you to put all your worries, doubts, and fears in the chest. And when you're done, you will hear the sound of my voice. So the reason I'm doing that is to clear everything out in my mind. You don't have to get this detailed. This might be over a lot of your heads, but for me, this is what I do. So I'm at this point, I have a binaural beat. I get real deep into this shit. I'll have a binaural beat playing because I have a very active mind and I have it playing at a delta wave to really like knock my ass out. And then I'll have like a wind sound in the background. So now I'm like imagining myself sticking all my worries and fears, whatever, just unloading my mind into this box. And then I give it some time. And then I come back and talk to myself. Imagine that trade you took at 11:30 a.m. You know the one. The white PVA spanning 25 ticks. When you looked at it, the expected value is only 4. It only has a swing 1 on it. As the trade is ripping through the setup area, you watch it on the DOM. You see the blue numbers flashing quickly as it is tearing through the offers. And as you watch this, you feel calm. You feel relaxed because you know this is not ready. And if it goes without you and it hits target without you, you are content because you only hit A plus trades. Have you ever hit an A plus trade? Doesn't matter whether it's B or C because you only hit A plus trades. Now I'm just sidestepping here. I might use stuff that may create confusion because confusion can help put you in a trance-like state. Anyways, as the trade pans out, and what I want to do is start to visualize that I did the right thing. Like, I want to relive the situation as if I didn't fucking overtrade it. And let's pretend we don't know if this is going to work out today. Let's pretend it does. Let's pretend it does what I need it to do, because I don't know if it will. I'm just gonna wait. But the situation where I overtraded, I want to walk through that price action, but as if I didn't place a trade. So as we watch the price action shoot up several points, we are calm. We are content. We are patient. We are like a sniper waiting for the target to be in the right place at the right time. And we watch the price action completely calm as it starts to go sideways. It looks like it might hit the target. It looks like it just might hit the target. But we're okay. We are fine. And as the price dumps in, and the price starts to dump in, it hits the edge of the entry zone. We're calm. This is good. Maybe we will get in this trade. The price moves up, still waiting patiently, completely calm in our bodies, vibrating at the highest frequency possible. And then the price dumps out. This is good. We just might get this setup. This setup is going from a C to a B as we watch it calmly. Maybe we get it today. Maybe we get it tomorrow. Maybe we don't get it. However, we make money because of A plus setups. And let's pretend that it rotates again, because I need it to rotate again. I need it to rotate a few times. So let's pretend it comes out, it comes back one more time. Then I'll probably take it. So the price dumps out again, bouncing off the edge. Maybe the market will keep dropping. Doesn't matter, because we are patient, and patience makes us money. And we love being patient. We love the skill of cultivating patience. Being patient is our favorite thing as we watch the red numbers on the order flow dump, sweeping several prices, sweeping through 64, 63, 62, 61s, coming into the 60s, super fast. We don't trade it because it's not our setup. And then the price pulls back in. Here it is, an A setup. We wait patiently for the market to flutter and fill in the slips and reclaims. We wait for that right moment, watching the tape carefully, looking for the blues to get very blue. All of a sudden you see it. 20 lots, 475. Another 20 lots at 475. This is your sign. We get into it, and then the trade goes against us a little bit, a point. It's no matter. It's a good setup. So we will hold. And then we hold as the trade moves and chops. It gives us drama. However, we're confident because we know this is an A plus setup. So and let's say I didn't take it and I missed it because I hit drawdown. We want to relive it as if we did take it. We want to relive So it's a combination of getting rid of the overtrading and replacing it with calm thinking. So wherever I would have overtraded on the charts, we would replace it with just the calm feeling. And then where I may have not traded or where the perfect entry would have been, we want to relive it as if we did do it perfectly. And then just listen to that going to sleep. And when I go to sleep, I want to really focus to my headphones, and you can make a track really quick. I want to listen intently to the audio track, and I can do other things in the audio track. However, putting yourself in a state of hypnosis and really narrating, and it's really easy to just like record that situation and just have it and just be as detailed as possible. You might not be really good at it at first, but I mean, we've taken one trade today for a tick. If that's what we get, so be it. But in my opinion, if you really want to supercharge and take your trading to the next level, and you don't have to record it, simply just reviewing the situation and just replaying it in your head, kind of like the narration I just did, but just feeling calm. If you can just play the trade 3, 4, 5 times over and over from a calm place. So meditate, then sit down and review, or review everything, go meditate for 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, because at first in your meditation you might keep fighting the fluttering, and I guarantee it, if you sit there long enough, there will be a point where you just start to rip through this veil in your meditation where you actually feel good and your reality starts to shift. Once you get into that state of being, try to live in it for a moment, and then when you come out, you've altered your reality that you want to sit down and rewatch the trades and you just visualize them or stay in the meditation if you really remember the price action. If you can remember the very specific price action, just relive it from a state of calm over and over. Again, replacing the bad trading with patience and calmness and feeling that at your core. Like, you can't just say I'm patient and calm. No, you need to feel it. You need to feel what is calm and patience feels like. That's why the meditation came first, to hopefully give you a sense of what that is. Because you need to, again, visualize it from a place of patience and calmness, but feeling it in your core. Because if you recall, when you took the trade, you were pissed. And if you were pissed, you were feeling it in your core. So we got to replace that. We got to replace that. We got to replace that feeling with the other feeling. Not just the thought of the feeling, but we need to feel the feeling. Your body doesn't know the difference between real and fake when it comes to feeling specific emotions. I guarantee most of you have stressed out over something that never fucking happened in your life. Something you thought was going to happen that ended up never fucking happening, and you stressed out and you got all bent out of shape over nothing. And then, but when you were stressed out, it was a real feeling. But what happened never happened. So therefore, you created an artificial feeling for a situation that never happened. And we're all good at doing it the wrong way. We're all good at focusing on bad shit. Like, bad shit is literally like glue. It sticks to most people's minds, whereas good stuff slides off like Teflon. I can get I can get dozens and dozens of positive comments on YouTube, and then one fucking asshole says something, and it used to be to the point where it just bothered me all day, and I wouldn't really remember the good, the dozens of good things. Same thing is happening in your normal life. And that's just how we're programmed. We live in a hypnotic world. Everything is putting you in a hypnotic state, whether it's the news, listening to somebody on YouTube, music. I mean, for fuck's sake, music has influenced cultures. Music has influenced different cultures. It is literally a hypnotic state. We are constantly being put in a hypnotic state. The fucking presidents do it. They speak in hypnotic language patterns. And we're being brainwashed, and this is me going off the conspiracy theory, but we're being brainwashed in a way that we just are more negative than optimistic. And when it comes to your trading, that's leaching into it. Again, there could be other things like childhood trauma or what have you, but we want to start creating artificially, we want to get pumped and excited, and we want to feel immense amount of patience and calmness. We want to, what calm and patience feels like. You've done it before somewhere else in your life. So just like stressing out over a situation that never happens, well, do the opposite and get patient calmness over a situation that didn't happen, but pretend like it did. And if you keep doing that enough, your subconscious mind will start to associate specific price actions that normally would piss you off with a state of calm and patience. With those unique hands you constantly having. And like I said, you can, as little as just visualizing it, and this trade's still not ready. If it goes all the way through, then so be it. And if I miss it, I miss it. And I could be feeling right now like, oh my God, I'm gonna miss this. Oh my God, I'm gonna miss this. Oh, but the thing is, I've done that on so many trades that I need to. That's feeling has become a pattern. Oh my God, I'm gonna miss this. Oh my God, I'm gonna miss this. Oh my God, how many? I know a lot of you have done that, and that's now a habit. So, some of you guys have done that so much that is now a habit. Now you're gonna have to fucking rewrite the code because you don't really know. It's falling back down now. I could have chased that and it went against me 6 ticks, right? So constantly visualizing, I don't give a fuck if it goes without me, fuck it. It's not ready. It's not ready, and taking this trade is a fucking gamble because I'm fighting this profile. I'm fighting a reclaim and I'm fighting a range. There's no, I mean, it could go, but if I miss it, so be it. And I tell you this, it's happened to me so many times that I've fought over garbage, and then all of a sudden there's a good trade later in the day. Maybe it is later in the day, but then there's a good trade tomorrow. But I'm telling you, I fought for so many shit trades that some really good setup that I didn't see sets up many hours later, and I take it. And had I just wait for that, it would have been a good day. But instead, I'm still red. That's happened so many fucking times. And it becomes so maddening. It's like Bill Murray's Groundhog Day, where it's the same goddamn thing happening every fucking day. And I don't know about you guys, but that shit drives me so fucking nuts to have these shitty routines in my trading over and over that I just at some point you're gonna have to get sick of it to where you can actually do something about it. And you can use fear. You can actually use fear to help motivate you because if you're really see that they just hit target, oh well, it wasn't good enough in my opinion. Now there's this trade up here that could actually be good. Um, that one might be good, but this wasn't A plus enough in my opinion. There's also a point in your life where you're just so content and you're not willing to change, but there could be a point in time where things get so bad in your life that you may be experiencing fear that you're actually motivated to fix the issue, right? Sometimes, well, a lot of people have to hit rock bottom before they fucking bounce. So another method is just using fear to motivate yourself. I know that sounds absolutely nuts, but it releases a different chemical compound in your brain where this optimistic thinking will release what, serotonin or some bullshit. Fear can release adrenaline, which can motivate you to actually do something about it, where this optimistic thinking may not. So, whatever your rock bottom is, if you can artificially push that rock bottomness up and keep pushing it up, you can use fear to actually do what you need to do. So if you guys aren't reviewing or doing whatever, um, you can fear monger a little bit to get you motivated to do it. If I don't do my review, I'm gonna fail as a trader and I have to do it. And if I don't fucking do it, then I'll never fucking make it. And I wasted all these years of my fucking life and just kind of going down that route of stress and then you can do it. I mean, I don't have a lot of experience in that realm. I'm experimenting with it a little bit, but that's something you could do is to raise your rock bottom up. Because I could tell you to do these things and then you just guys don't fucking do it because you're not motivated. That at some point, maybe some of you guys need to have a few more months of just not getting anywhere or having Groundhog Day over and over, that eventually you start to hit that rock bottom and then you bounce. You can bring that up. But back to what I was originally saying, like I just missed it. Who gives a fuck at this point, right? But it wasn't good enough. It's not. It was C. I'm not gonna take a C trade. So you have to reprogram the unconscious mind. And it all starts with meditating and becoming aware. And you can use audios to assist you every day because I'm telling you, when I do my daily report cards and I had a fucked day, the next several days are always really good because I just relive these moments doing the right thing. And then that specific price action is associated with doing, feeling a specific feeling. Because at some point, your trading becomes automated. It's like you drive the same route in your car. You don't have to really think about it. You just do it. The same thing happens in athleticism. Like when I roller skate, I do specific tricks and I need to do them enough to the point I don't need to think about it. Or when I raced go-karts, some guy told me he spent a month practicing just braking in the right spot and he didn't give a fuck about lap times or anything else. A full month of just braking and getting his braking down as tight as possible to the point he didn't have to think about it. And this was a young kid. I'm talking fucking early 20s. Set track record that I don't think anybody will ever fucking touch. Um, and being so young, he knew what it took to get good at it. And that's a lot of these things in your driving needs to be automated. Same thing in your trading, especially your emotions, your FOMO, your over trading. You have to get to the point where you're practicing diligently on automating it and associating it with the feelings you need to feel. And that takes effort. Otherwise, you're going to just have the same shit happening over and over. And it seems off the wall. It seems Like I gotta go learn hypnosis. I need to learn how to talk in a hypnotic voice. Um, it's proven that self-induced hypnosis or hypnosis in general can shift people's fucking lives. And we're not talking about quack like a duck type shit. We're talking about clinical hypnosis here. It is proven that shit will shift your life. And if that's what it takes, then so be it. Because there is no just willing or forcing your way to stop overtrading, to not be angry, because at that point it's too late, and then you haven't practiced enough not doing that. And it takes 18 days minimum for something to become a habit. And if you really think about it, 18 days isn't that many days. That if you sit there and you listen to yourself walking yourself through several trades, you're going to have a dramatic shift in your emotional capital bank, because you're trading real capital, but you're also trading emotional capital. And if you're not building your emotional capital reserves, you're going to get tapped the fuck out. Some of you only have a couple of bucks in there. In the moment, maybe the first trade goes wrong and then you're already fucking off the rails because you only got a couple of bucks in your emotional bank. Some of you may have like a couple of $100 in your emotional bank, and you can hang on for a moment, but at some point you're just getting pushed to the edge. Some of you may have it to where it lasts several days, but all of a sudden, day 3 or 4, the market's fighting you tooth and nail, and then you just lose it. So you have to build your emotional capital, because I've talked to enough traders at this point to know that you all have the same exact fucking problems. You guys all struggle from the exact same issues. Whatever you're going through ain't fucking unique. Chances are somebody else went through it, and chances are we've all done it, and we've all done it too much. And just willpowering and disciplining your way into profitable trading isn't going to work. When somebody's like, "Oh, just stop doing this," or "just have more discipline," that's not how it fucking works, man. You can't. You're a drug addict. So you're going to have to wean yourself off of these emotions and by going to these AA meetings, these emotional AA meetings, and by you telling yourself all these good things and what you did right in your trading, even though you did wrong. It's like being in the AA meeting and you're hearing all these encouragements, these encouraging stories from all the other fucking members. So, I mean, you're a drug addict and you need to fucking figure it takes effort, conscious effort, so that way you can rewrite and reprogram your mind, because nobody is programmed to do this fucking job. And you can use self-induced hypnosis to fix other problems in your life, not just this. So you can use what I talked about, like being very specific and walking through each step really helps. You can you can you can visualize, I'm patient, I'm calm, I'm patient, I'm calm, I'm patient, I'm calm. But no, if you're really specific, like maybe you want to go work out, but you don't work out. You can't just listen to a track where I like working out, I love working out, I love working out. Ooh, I want to work out. Be more specific. I go to the gym. I pick up the weights. I push the weight onto the bar. It's a 20-pound weight. I grab another 20-pound weight. I can feel the tension in my arms as I put it on the other side. I swing my leg over the bench. I lay down. I grab the bar. I breathe. And then I start to push. And as I push, I can feel the tension in my arms as I lift it over my head, feeling the colossal weight. And then I come in down slow as my arms start to shake, bringing it to my chest, feeling the bar just touching my chest, knowing if I let go, it could crush me. Then I push again. This time it's getting a little heavier as I go up in the rep. Holding it, my arms shake a little more, coming down slowly, feeling it into my chest. I can feel the soreness in my arms. So I'm not going to keep going, but being that specific is more likely to get you to do exactly what it is you need to do to change instead of I love working out, I want to go work out, I love work. You can listen to a track like that and then you'll start to be thinking about it all the time. But if you become what you think, so if it's too broad, you're just thinking about working out, but if you are more specific, like what we did with the price action and seeing it on the DOM and all that shit, it's going to have more of an impact because maybe maybe I listen to a track where I'm just like, I want to work out, I want to work out, I want to work out. But once I go there, then I'm not motivated. However, if I think of the specific steps and then I start to work out in my mind, let's say we get to the point of muscle failure. I want to like visualize every fucking rep. I want to visualize 30 of these reps. And as repetitive as listening to that would be, it is putting you into a trance-like state. And then I want to, and do it going to bed with headphones because your brainwave shifts going to sleep. So that also helps put you into a trance-like state. And then at the end of it, I'm done working out. I feel inspired. I look in the mirror and I see the muscle pump. I check myself out. God damn, I look good. In just a deep, rumbly, calm voice. Think Morgan Freeman, because that sort of speaking can help. And as I visualize it, I want to put in, I'm inspired. I am pumped. I love the pain. Because maybe you want to work out, but once the pain kicks in, you don't want to anymore. But every time you're like lifting the bar, I fucking love the pain. I can feel the love of the pain in my core. And then at some point, you may actually be addicted to feeling the pain. It's so you can use this to change your life in many ways. And if you're not, chances are none of you are happy where you are in your life now. And if you keep doing what you're doing now, you're going to keep getting what you're getting now. So doing something like this is a way to reprogram your thinking, your emotions, your feelings. It'll shift. So specifics, you want specifics. Because if you guys know you're overtrading, and you know you need to stop overtrading, that's not gonna fix it. Questions? Anything? So the question is you want to know 3 ways, 3 sources you can go search to figure out how to get into a hypnotic state for yourself. Okay, so I want to address something first and then I'll answer that. So you did mention about being in a hypnotic state while trading. We don't really want to be in a hypnotic state while trading. we need to be more alert. We need to be in like a beta or alpha brainwave. So we don't really want to be in a theta going into a delta brainwave where we're super like relaxed. We do need to be on top of it. We want to be in flow state. The point of the hypnotic stuff is after trading, and it is to reprogram the unconscious mind so that way when we are actually performing, because we want to be super alert, we want to be super into it, but we need a lot of things to be automated. So the hypnotic state needs to be done outside of it to reprogram stuff. So, I mean, you want to be in flow state, and flow state, in my opinion, is living in the moment. So your meditation, where you keep bringing back to the breath and focusing on the breath, and you're like, hey, my mind is wandering. You want to be focused on your trading. You want to be focused. And if the mind starts to wander too much and you're starting to get into your head, meditation is going to help you. That's no different. It's like, think of like looking at maybe the Dom like the breath. Like, I need to pay attention to this. I need to pay attention to this price action. I need to formulate a story. The trade's not here, but I might miss something. Oh my God, this might happen. Oh, but what if there is no trade? I need to put on a trade. Oh, my mind is wandering. Bring it back. Just focus. Nothing's here. Same thing with meditation. We want to be in a flow state. Flow state's different than a trance-like state. So we don't want to be in a trance state in our trading because we might be too relaxed, that we're just letting too much shit slip past us. This is going to be your training outside of this. That way, when you're here, you've reprogrammed the unconscious mind, so you're automated. So the next question, again, I want to clarify is 3 sources to potentially help myself get into a trance-like state, correct? Okay, so the box. So he mentions the box when I talked about putting my worries in the box. I got that from the Gateway Experience meditation tapes. You can, so the Gateway, I've recommended it many times. Gateway Experience was a government thing back in the day when during the Cold War, the US government wanted to spy on the Russians through astral projections where you leave your body. And it really happened. So there's these tapes you can listen to that train you how to astral project. Now, I never have astral project, and I went through a lot of them. I went through the entire first series and the second series, which I don't think the second series is about astral projecting. But I tell you, going through all these different waves uh, really made me feel absolutely like I was on drugs in a good way. Like, there's several tapes in wave 1 where they get you to go through these things and then you come back and then they push you a little further and then you come back. So it's a combination of guided meditation, hypnosis, and they use binaural beats. So binaural beats, or listening to some sort of frequency, whether it's 528 hertz or whatever, try to listen to a higher hertz or a binaural beat. Certain binaural beats will put you into a trance-like state. So, and you're also, when you're going to sleep or waking up, you're going into a trance-like state. So if you listen to a binaural beat while you're laying down to go to sleep, those are 2 things that can put you into a trance-like state. So a binaural beat is one steady tone. You got to have headphones. It's one steady tone in the left ear. So it just be like a ooh, and then another steady tone in the other ear. Ooh. But they're different pitches, and a theta wave. Like, if you have a very active mind, I prefer delta wave. But if you want to look for maybe a theta or delta wave, just research brain waves and the hertz and what the binaural beats are. But those two tones being slightly off will come into your brain and it'll go wah 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 wah. But that's not what's happening. The two different hemispheres of your brain are making it sound like it's going wah 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 wah, and that sound can just put you into a trance-like state. Maybe nature can do that, so listening to rain, just a YouTube rain track, wind, a stream. So listening, you could probably pull up two videos if you're on your computer and have them both running at the same time, a binaural beat and rain. So experiment with that. You can make a binaural beat in Audacity, which is free, and it's like super, super fucking easy to do. Or you can just find them on YouTube, but if you're gonna make your own track, you can do this pretty easy. So I would go to add new mono track, put it to the left, um, generate tone. So let's do like 528, which is a higher frequency, duration, hour, generate. And you guys probably won't hear it. I could potentially put a full guided track out that you guys can listen to, so I'll play it. Okay, that came through the speaker, so you heard it. So then tracks are generate tone. So I want to go up maybe 3, which would be a delta wave calculator. So I'm fucking shit at math. I can't even add 3. So 531. And it's Audacity. Again, it's free. And this is recorded. Generate. And then I'm going to put this on the right. Oops, I may have. Actually, hold on. Let's generate. Oh, tracks. Add new mono track. There we go. Right ear. Tracks. Or generate tone. 531. Hour, month. Or yeah, hour, minute, seconds. And then let me get it to go into my headphones. Real quick. I don't know why it's coming through here, but either way, it's gonna go wah 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 wah, and then you can use of some other shit where you can record your voice in there. So you could record your voice, let's see. Well, I don't know where that's gonna go. I do stuff in a video thing and put it on YouTube, unlisted or private. But experiment with binaural tracks. Another thing you can do is way to get into a trance-like state. So binaural beats, listen to the gateway experience, whether you want to astral project or not, just the way the guy like pushes you through it, the sounds, because it's like a beach. And then you hear this whoosh, whoosh. And then he talks about imagining the heavy chest and then putting all your fears and doubts in there. And then you just hear the crashing of the beach. Because the reason for that is to dump everything in there. And then the next phase is chanting. So when you're laying there, you chant with the chanting on the track. So in the gateway experience, you'll hear it go. Then it does it again and again. And you're to chant with it. So, so by you just chanting, that would be the second resource to potentially put yourself into a trance-like state. And different cultures have different chants. And oh, I forget that one fucking guy. He's that guy on Alan Watts. Yeah, he talks about this shit. He has a great video on meditation, but he talks about these chants. It can be ohms, it can be hues, or Muslims will do Allah, and that can put you into a trance-like state if you just chant it over and over, like Allah, 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 Allah. And you're just, that's kind of like when you're chanting like that, instead of like in meditation focusing on a breath, you're verbally doing something. And at some point, if you're doing it long enough, it will just take you out. So binaural beats, chanting, potentially chanting before you visualize your trading, or good old-fashioned meditation. A third resource for trance-like state, Headspace, the app Headspace. It is a paid app. It is guided meditations. But they do have these stories for when you go to sleep. And it's just these nonsense stories that are just excruciating detail, like me talking about working out or me talking about the trade. It's just these nonsense stories about being in a library on a rainy day. You look around and you notice all the books. That could be a third option for trance-like state. Ecstatic dancing can put you into a trance-like state. Dancing can put you into a trance-like state. Where can you find deep relaxation? Is it a specific song? Is it sitting in the bathtub? Is it sitting in nature? Could it be holding something? For me, just playing this didgeridoo, while I'm not super good at it, the droning is almost like chanting, and when I sit there and do it long enough, it will pull me into a trance-like state of deep relaxation, or just listening to yourself. So another thing that you can do is overlay your voice. So talk about your trading. Maybe you do the audio track like I said. Another method is overlaying your voice. So let's take a sentence. I am a patient trader. I love being patient. Being patient is my favorite thing in trading. I just love waiting for the trade to set up. And then what I do is I take that sentence, and then in an audio program, I just keep adding it to it till it's like an hour long. And it's just what I said repeated. Then another thing I can do is talk about something else in my trading. So we just talked about patience. So I'll record a new sentence structure. I am calm. I am always calm and content with the situation, no matter what happens in my trading. I am calm and I enjoy being calm. I am always calm, no matter how chaotic the market gets. So I take that and then I just keep looping it, but I overlay it with the original thing where I talked about patience. So now it's me talking over myself. And it kind of sounds like a cafeteria or a public place where a lot of people are talking, but it sounds like nonsense. And confusion can put you into a trance-like state. So, and like, I think like, I mean, there's like Biden is really good at it because he says a lot of shit that makes no sense at all. And it's putting you in a trance-like state, like confusion. It's genius. But like, he might really be senile, but what I'm trying to say is like when you overlay the audio track like that, where you're over talking yourself, while you're not really able to clearly hear what you're saying, you're still absorbing that. The unconscious mind is still absorbing it, and you don't necessarily need to hear it clearly. That it's going into your head, that overlay, that audio overlay can just, like for me, because I've done a lot of those, it just like, if you just listen to it in your headphones, it can just like instantly, it's this overstimulation to where it can just knock you the fuck out, to where you're like just kind of there. So that's another method of getting into a trance-like state. There's so many things, like where do you find deep relaxation? Whether it's chanting or listening to something or rain sounds or playing an instrument or whatever, or dancing, where do you find it? And how can you incorporate it? And you can incorporate many things. For me, driving is a trance-like state. Driving for a good while is a trance-like state. So I'll take advantage of that. Um, any other questions? So when I review, what is my attitude or tonality towards myself in the review process is the question. I think Mike Bellafiore says it best. You need to be easy on yourself when you fuck up, and you need to be hard on yourself when you take a good A plus trade, but you didn't manage it right. It's like raising a kid or some shit. If they fuck up, you can't just be mad and pissed. Here's how we fucked up, and this is why. And most of the time, I'm like, no. I mean, every time I review, I know once I see what I did, I know exact. There's never a moment where I'm like, what happened? I don't understand. It's always like, well, it is what it is. I mean, it's over with. There's nothing I can do to fix the problem. All I can do is learn from it. So for me, it's just like, it happened, or I did this, and now we just need to fix it. It's more like a focus on fixing the situation. You crashed the car, or somebody rear ends you. You can't sit there and you get all fucking pissed because it's not gonna fix anything. What I need to do is think about the next steps. Well, I got to get this shit fucking towed. I got to get the insurance involved. I got to get it to the shop. I need to start figuring out a rental car situation immediately. So when it comes to reviewing and I did something stupid, it's like, what do I need to do to fix that immediate problem? And then the first hour of me talking about visualizing the situation is how we fix it. So I'm easy on myself. I'm not beating myself up. I mean, I see other traders do that, and that's not good. Uh, you can't be calling yourself retarded or stupid. I see that happen way too often. Um, that you just can't be doing that shit. Yeah. Any other questions? Or do you have a follow up to that? Yeah, man. If you're gonna be critical, if you be critical when you didn't um, you took a good trade, it won, but you didn't do it well enough. Like I really gotta. It is too often times we get into a good trade and we won, and then we're just like, all right, let's dust our hands off and walk away from that. Even though I could have done it better. No, that's when you need to be like a bit harder on yourself, like do better. But if you're fucking up, um, but then again, like I talked about, you bringing rock bottom up, maybe that can help. Maybe you do need to be critical on yourself. Um, and maybe that's bringing maybe that does help you. But I think when it comes to name calling, where you think you're stupid or retarded or using negative thinking, that's a problem. Um, if you're critical in the sense of I didn't do this well enough or I should have done this better. But for me, it's like, for me, it's like not so much being critical. It's like, what do I need to do to fix this right now? What specifically do I need to do to fix this? You have to be a very specific, you have to be a master of diagnosis. You need to know exactly what the problem is, and you're like a scientist. You need to figure, because I've done so many crazy things to fix so many problems. I've had cognitive journals. Um, I've done all sorts of wackadoodle shit to fix problems, and you're just like a scientist, and you need to keep probing the problem with very specific solutions, whether that's loop timers, meditations, getting up every 5 fucking minutes, ice bathing after a bad trade. I've done all sorts of shit, and you need to keep doing that until you start to get results. And then it's like finding a setup. You need to hone down how I'm going to fix this specific issue with a very specific solution. Because saying I need to just not do this isn't good enough. Anyone else?